3, 2, 1. All right, Jacory, thanks for coming by, brother.
No problem, man. Thank you for having me, man.
Of course, man. Of course. You're a legend, Canes legend. You were just saying you were at day one of spring ball as well.
Mm-hmm.
How was that?
Man, you know what? As I was saying before, this is one of the, best day ones I've seen from camps or even just being a part of it. Because being out there looking at the guys slinging the ball around, everybody looked like they on the same page. Yeah. And that's surprising to come in day one and practice not be sloppy. Mm-hmm. And I guess that's a good thing. That's a good sign. It's showing that Cristobal and the staff got everything going smoothly. And, it's going to be a good thing going forward, hopefully.
Yeah. What guys stood out to you day one of spring practice? Like, you looked at them, you were like, wow, like, he's going to have a good year.
Without saying too much, and I don't want to get people too hyped. Okay.
Just
but without saying too much, every time that I look and I'll be standing mid-conversation talking to some of the coaches, and then I'll look up and I'll be like, God, dog, good ball. And every time it was Cam Ward. Yeah. Every time it was Cam Ward. And I'm like, okay, dang, you want to see the guy, in action and see what he could do. But him being out there and showing his presence and being poised and being a leader out there, he's really like orchestrating things out there. So he looked good. But I'll be honest, that's a good quarterback room.
That's what we were saying before.
You think he's gonna be competitive?
It's gonna be competitive. I'm pretty sure. I'm not a coach. I'm not there, but just based on how things working nowadays with transfer portal, people getting paid, Cam is gonna be a guy. But behind him is not that much of a drop off. Those guys are. Okay.
That's good to hear, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Another person that looked good was that 16.
Reese.
Reese.
Yeah.
Reese.
He's from
the one from Albany.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Albany. Okay, yeah. Shout out CAA.
Yeah, he was throwing the ball. He started throwing the ball, so I had kind of forgot that he had came over as well. Which
he came first. That was before I think guys knew
Cam.
that Cam was coming. Yeah.
So seeing him start throwing the ball, and then also Jacory when it was on the inside throwing 1-on-1s and everything. Jacory has he's shown a lot of improvement too. He threw a dime today.
Really? What was it?
It was a go route. But
see, his arm's crazy.
Yeah, he threw that thing line drive.
Really?
Like hit the dude right in stride. Mm-hmm. Don't want to say too much and then get the fans all hyped up.
I mean, that's what people want.
You know how they get.
Especially at that position, the quarterback position. I think it's a little bit about what we were saying before. I truly believe it's the deepest quarterback room in college football.
Yeah.
Because Jacory, who may end up either being the 3 or 4, could probably start in 95% of Power 5 schools.
Right now.
Around there.
Every guy in that quarterback room
is a starter.
Could start at most schools.
And then it's another kid, I think Judd Anderson.
He's a freshman.
Is a freshman.
He just came in.
This dude is huge.
He's a big dude.
He is huge. Not
like Jacory big or
no, he might be bigger than he's taller than Jacory and he has some weight, some size on him. Jacory is just like a specimen. Jacory got muscle. Jacory look.
Yeah.
That's what I would have wanted to look like. Yeah, I wanted to look like Jacory. So, but the room is deep. The room, they have a lot of good guys.
Which is rare, I feel like, with the whole NIL, because usually if you're a guy, big recruit,
everybody else runs and leaves.
Someone else is offering me $500K, and it's like I can't even blame them. Like, you want to play early, you want to get tape, and like the money also, that's a big part too. So,
but not a lot of people, I guess, haven't seen those guys in action. So, other than outside of high school and stuff, but
right.
But right now, got a gold mine sitting behind them.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard to keep all.
Yeah, those kids, man. You put them in the right position. You use their skill sets to their advantage. I think they're gonna be good.
Be a good team.
Yeah,
I think. Well, what do you think about like this year's expectation? Because I was saying last year with a guy like Cam Ward, his experience and like his stability at that position.
Yeah.
Like I think that team wins the conference. I really do, and then that puts you in a position to maybe sneak into the playoffs, or at the very least, you finish like somewhere in the top 15.
Yeah, going into the season, every time you look at the schedule, you're like, okay,
Yeah, win.
One loss. And it should be that way because there's certain teams that I still believe should not beat Miami. You should not lose to the Georgia Techs. You should not lose to the Dukes. You should not lose to certain Virginias. Right. Certain teams you shouldn't lose to. So when you look at the schedule in the ACC, they do have a lot of teams that you should not lose to.
Right.
But unfortunately, things happen, and you can have a great team, and you go into the season and projected this, that, but it's for some reason things happen. Hopefully, the trajectory that they're on now is on the up and up. Wins wise, how it's been for the past couple seasons since Cristobal been there. So hopefully that could just keep going up, and and the guys go out there and really like show like, hey, look, we should be top of the nation. There's some big boys.
Yeah.
Some big boys out there, man. They got some players, they got some playmakers. And it look like everybody's focused, everybody on the same page, and it looks good.
Yeah. Where do you see the talent compared to like when you came in like the 08? Because I know y'all had the number 1 recruiting class in the country. And like this was me, how old was I? I was probably like 10, 11 years old. So I was like, playing a lot of football, watching a lot of balls, like my first kind of introduction to like the college football landscape. And like living down here, I didn't grow up a Miami fan, I grew up a Florida fan, but it was like huge news when like, obviously you guys had the best team in the country, Northwestern national championships, and like that whole team goes to Miami. Oh shit, like the U's back. But I feel like we've said that so many times.
We have. It's unfortunate things didn't pan out how they were supposed to pan out. Yeah. But it's a lot of things that went into why things didn't happen the way they were supposed to. Whether it was individually, me playing quarterback, anything I could have done better, anything any of the guys could have done better, to coaching. It was always things that we could have done better that didn't get done, and that's why we didn't win. But we had the talent, we had all the guys. It just didn't happen, and for whatever reason, still to this day, I think about it and I'm like, I don't know what the reason was. But yeah, man, these teams now, man, these guys are talented. They got all the top recruits from around the country, from South Florida. They got good guys. You just got to put it all together. And then you got to have guys that want it more than what you may think they want. Like, you want the guys that's gonna, like Cam, talking to him after practice, and he asked me, hey, you want to come upstairs? I'm going to the film room. Like, I'm finna be in there all day. Like, this is what I want to lead. I want to eat, sleep, and breathe this stuff. Listen to a guy that's hungry, that's thinking along those lines. It's like, okay, I like this kid. I see the extra work. Jacory and the other guy, Reese. They're all outside putting they put in extra work, and it's not all physical. When you sit there and listen to them talk, that's how you know when the quarterback is prepared, when the quarterback knows what they're doing, because then you could watch it translate. Because if you could talk about it as a quarterback and you mentally know everything that you're supposed to be doing, it's gonna translate in your steps. You're gonna feel it. You could see it was certain balls where I'm like, okay, this gonna be late. I could see it in his footwork. I don't know the plays, but I'm sitting back there based on how the defense is covering certain things. I knew exactly where the ball's supposed to be going. Right. You'll see a curl route, but you see how the player's developing. Hey, you got a 1, 2, 3, get this out right now. A little small hitch, throw it. But then you'll see one of the quarterbacks to take a 3, and he'll sit on his hitch, but he's looking at the right read, but he's not getting the ball. He's not delivering the ball on time. And then it'll turn into either a tip pass, because I don't think nobody threw any picks today, but it'll turn into a tip pass or,
if you're late.
Yeah. So the guys know what they're doing mentally, from what it seems like, just being somebody that's on the outside looking in. And I think once the ball gets rolling, it's going to be a good year.
Yeah, the Cam thing, that's really reassuring, I think, for Miami fans, because he's not a guy, I've never talked to him, but at least from like what I've seen and heard, he's not a guy that I don't think is going to be overwhelmed by like a big city and like the money and like the flash of Miami. I think I look at, he posted on Instagram when he had first declared for the league. I don't know if you saw it, but everyone's got like these flashy like edits and like crazy like narrative story posts. And he literally like, I think like his brother or someone recorded him on a couch. He's like, hey, my name's Cam and I'm going to the NFL. And it was like a 6-second video.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, yo, is this a joke? Like it was just funny because it's so different than what everyone else was doing. I'm like, I wonder if that's a glimpse into like who this guy is.
He
doesn't post a lot. Like he doesn't care about.
That's exactly who he is. Yeah. He's, since the first time I met him, so this is crazy. When he came down for his visit, I randomly came out there to University of Miami. I was going to Equinox to get a workout in.
Ooh, great place to work.
And something told me, I was like, man, stop by UM since I'm going to the one in Coral Gables. And I didn't know that they had recruits come in or anything, and walk in, and then the coaches are like, yo, you're the perfect person. Cam's here.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, wait, the dude Cam Ward? Oh, I want to meet him. You know, I watched him. He pretty good. Yeah. Go up there, meet him, talk to his family, and then you see it. You're like, oh, this kid would be perfect for this city because it don't look like he has been introduced to a city like this before, but it also has that he got his family, the way his family operate and the way his personality is, it doesn't seem like it'll be anything that'll affect him.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem like the guy that's going to be, you know, all out at any time at night, getting in trouble, doing all those things. And plus you're catching him on a 1-year deal, so he ain't got time to be out there trying to,
it's a business trip.
Yeah, this is a business trip for a year. And I think he understands that, and that's how he looks at it.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm finna go live in paradise, go study in paradise, go learn plays, and prepare myself to be on this field and deliver victories to the University of Miami. And I think that's what's gonna help him. The fact that he only has 1 year, and this is like, hey, look, you ball here, you set your name up for a lifetime.
Yeah. What's up, boys? Check it out. Today's podcast is brought to you by a game changer and something that has personally helped me on and off the field, the brain boosting supplement, Tri-Neuro. This is not your average nootropic. Let me break it down for you guys. Tri-Neuro is here to tackle neuroinflammation and neurodegeneration head on. Basically, it's going to supercharge your brain, and if you've played football or any contact sport like I do, it will protect you in the long run. And even if you haven't, it's proven to improve things like memory, cognition, and creativity. And get this, price-performance ratio is unmatched. It's like getting a Ferrari for the price of a scooter. Plus, it's not whipped up in some random dude's basement. Tri-Neuro is the brainchild of world-renowned neurosurgeon Dr. Javier Figueroa. Sourced and manufactured in the good old US of A, so you don't have to worry about some shady overseas mystery labs. Plus, it's on its way toward NSF certification, so that way you know there's no mystery ingredients. It's just some great American brain power. Now let's get back to the episode. Did you feel like that was, like there were guys, I didn't play in Miami, you both did, so maybe you guys can touch on it, but I can only imagine, especially when you are winning, like what it's like to like be down here and like all the distractions and stuff. Like, I mean, Dee's told me some stories of guys, but like what is that like? Is it crazy?
It's crazy. And I see, so I'm from Miami, so right. I experienced it different. So yeah, it's certain people and things that I was able to do, that I was blessed to do, and to be around, like since I was young, and then to, you know, make it to college and still know those same individuals, whether, you know, they're celebrities and stuff like that, but you hanging out with them,
right?
Going to dinner with them, chilling, eating, vibing. But these people that I knew prior to coming to University of Miami, so my experience was a little bit different. But every time I would recruit guys, I would always tell them. I remember it was 2 guys. I'm not gonna say the name, but they came on a visit. They were gonna be early enrollees. Took them out, had an amazing time. Yeah. Of course, I know you guys are coming. Because I know how I recruit, and then
this is when you were hosting them, like as like a junior or senior kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, they were seniors.
Yeah.
So then the first day that they came in, because they signed. First day that they came in, they're like, hey, Jacory, where we at tonight? And I'm like, yo, we not doing that right now. It's spring ball right now. It's time to lock in. It's time to focus. I say, y'all freshmen. What y'all talking about? What we doing tonight? I can go do something tonight.
Yeah.
y'all should be like trying to get acclimated.
Trying to win a job.
Try to be a college student. Just try to be a college student first.
Yeah.
And then start, getting out there and doing the things. Like, first set the tone. I've been here since I was a freshman, since spring ball of freshman year. Yeah. I've pretty much put in the time. So you guys, I got to do that. Put in the time first so people could believe in you enough that you can go and live outside. Yeah. You don't want to come in starting like that. And they ended up in trouble. So, and they both ended up not being at the school anymore. So crazy. It shows you this city can devour you if you don't respect it.
Yeah.
And shoot, I'll be the first to tell you, yeah, I used to come straight from Club Live straight to practice and ball out in practice, ball out in the game, because that's what I was used to being from Miami. Knowing that I can adjust, knowing that I was doing this. Even with school, like I'll be tired and all that stuff, but I was smart enough to where, man, I'll sit there, I'll listen, and I can regurgitate everything that you just said to me. Yeah. So everybody's not the same. Everybody doesn't learn the same. So learn who you are before you start jumping out here trying to live that lifestyle.
Straight from live to practice is crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. It used to hurt sometimes, but it was getting done.
At least playing quarterback, though, you're not in the trenches like that. You're not gonna hit.
And that's what it was. It's like
you can just throw.
If I play a receiver, I would not have been doing that because body wise, and I'm gonna be honest with you, it's not like I was drinking or anything at that time. I ain't know what alcohol was. I wasn't drinking. I ain't know people that did drugs and none of that stuff. I just was focused on going out having fun and balling out. So. A lot of things didn't really affect my body because me going to practice, me going to the weight room, it was a different approach. It was different. I had different things and all that stuff I can handle. Yeah. But I do look back and be like, imagine if I just said for 4 years, 3 years that I'm only focused on football. Yeah. I wanted to be a college kid still as well.
Yeah. I mean, there's a balance.
That's what I'm saying. I think some people, it's, I think, everyone's like, like go there and focus only 4 years and only play football. But again, like you said, you're still a kid. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like some people come in at 17, 18, right? So you're still a kid. So you still want to experience that college kind of environment. So at some point, I think you got to have a good balance, like you said. But I always told freshmen, they would always ask me, like Jacory would come and ask me, whatever. I would say, listen, take those first 2 years to set yourself up for your next 4 or 5 or 10 years. So someone told me, okay, your first 2 years, try to get your highest GPAs because naturally it's going to drop when you start traveling and playing, stuff like that. So if you can use that year or two, everyone else is partying and going crazy, going to frat parties, use those first 2 years to set yourself up. So that way you're cruising through graduation and you don't got to worry about, am I going to graduate? Am I going to stay here? This and the third. Yeah, so. Smart. But you're still a kid, though. You want to have fun. You want experiences. You just got to do it in moderation. So that's what I always tell all my freshman friends that still hit me up to this day.
But that's when you want to go out the most.
Of course.
That's when you first go to school. You and your whole
you got to be disciplined.
But he said
you got to be disciplined.
Yeah, he said it right. Do it in moderation because even too much water is too much. Is bad
that's
for
true.
you.
That's true.
It's like you really have to have that focus because like I came in early, but then I got thrown out there to start as soon as I got there as a freshman. Because the guy in front of me, he had issues, legal issues or whatever it was. I ended up starting. But I felt at that moment, I was like, shoot, I done good enough throughout camp, all this stuff to be named the starter. Like, I'm supposed to be starting. Like, I balled, even though it's Charleston Southern, it's my first college game and I balled out. Yeah. Like, I'm like, shoot, University of Florida up next.
That's hard.
And then like
this was that like UF squad too.
Yeah, oh my god.
Was that Tebow days?
So look, I was I was in prime like 2 weeks ago. I'm in prime one. This is another thing why we need to beat the mess out of the Gators.
Week 1's gonna be crazy.
I don't want to curse. We gotta beat them.
You are. Florida's terrible this year.
Number 15, the quarterback there now. You got Tim Tebow jersey on.
You can't do that.
You can't. And then I meet you at Prime 112. Brandon Spikes introduced me to him and told talking to the kid. I'm like, hey, you ready? And the kid gonna talk about, how can I be ready for a team that was sorry last year? Like,
whoa.
like he's talking trash.
That's crazy.
And I'm like,
Okay,
all right.
Wait, but Miami was better than Florida last year.
I don't understand.
What was their record?
Look, I have no idea.
Was he like? How was he? What was the tone? Was he like dead ass, or was he?
He
kind of
was
just messing around
joking around about it, but still,
you took it personally. You took that personally.
it's like,
Yeah.
one, if you were Tim Tebow, then I would be like, okay, I got you. I hear
sure.
you. All right, I'm gonna listen to. But my brother,
But they didn't make a bowl game.
just humble yourself.
What did they win? 4 or 5 games?
I don't know, don't care. Like, hey, humble yourself. Like, we both need to do better, both teams. So it's not Miami. We don't have to worry about them. Like, come on now. We should be saying that about Florida. Yeah. And but it was good to sit there and reminisce with Brandon Spikes, because I remember when he played and he hit somebody so hard, I was handing the ball off and all I heard was like, bam. And I'm like, bro, like, what's going on? These dudes out here are
different.
First of all, Brandon Spikes was like a D tackle playing linebacker.
That dude's so big. And I heard he played dirty too,
Bro.
right? Because he would like gouge people's eyes and
So
stuff.
he
You ever see
did that
clip,
to
no?
Orlando Franklin.
Nah, the eye thing?
He did the kick. He kicked him. I'm watching. Orlando had pancaked him.
Okay.
Mind you, the game is 3-zip.
Yeah.
Orlando pancaked them. We driving. We doing good.
Yeah.
Compared to like with that team,
Yeah.
we were doing
that's like
well.
probably the greatest football team of all time outside of like LSU or Bama recently. It's a top 5 football team of all
Wait,
time.
hold on. He just skipped Miami.
Yeah, Miami. Like we not
Okay. What was
the greatest,
the greatest
college
of all
football
time.
team.
I don't know though. I don't know.
My
You don't
God.
know.
Okay.
I would give
go,
them.
How many?
I would go Reggie and Matt at USC.
I would go. Florida is the number 2 team behind that Miami team.
Yeah.
To me, that 2008 Florida team is behind the 2001 national championship University of
Who
Miami.
do you have 3 then?
3, I would do the USC. Reggie Bush
over LSU.
4
over with
for
Joe
LSU.
Burrow?
That was a team.
I don't know. That was a team. Because you got to think
It's
they
close,
beat Alabama.
bro. It's close.
Who they put in the championship? Alabama.
No, who did they beat? Clemson. They beat Clemson.
Clemson.
Yeah, they beat Clemson.
Right.
They blew out OU in the semifinal,
and OU was
and
good.
then they basically blew out Clemson as well.
Yeah, man, it's tough. That number 3 is gonna be tough.
And then I would
You
throw
know
in
what?
one of those Bama teams
You know
with
what?
like Mac Jones.
You know what? I'll put them number 3. I'll put
Really?
LSU number 3. But number 1 and 2 is solidified. That those both
Miami and USC.
No, Miami and Florida. 2008
Miami,
Florida.
Okay. Yeah.
So I could give them that. Like
Yeah.
I played against them and some of them
That defense too?
Yeah, like the guys that was on the bench were still first rounders over there at Florida. And the same thing with University of Miami.
Yeah.
They were all first rounders. Yeah. They whole entire defense went first round at Florida. Yeah. Like that is crazy.
Urban was going crazy on the recruiting.
Yeah. They did their thing. I remember Urban Meyer recruited me and told me, man, you could come in and be great. I'm like, y'all got Tim Tebow.
Was it Tim and Cam?
And then you had Cam.
And Cam was behind, but Cam had left.
Okay.
But when he was recruiting me, it was like the 07 where Tim Tebow had took Chris Leak's job.
Yeah.
And then he was gonna be the starter the next year. I'm like, why are you trying to even? Why are you even talking to me right now?
Yeah.
Like you're gonna move me to receiver,
Right.
and I'm not that fast, so I'm not gonna even be playing.
Yeah.
I got hands, but I ain't no blazer.
Right.
So
that was a smart move.
yeah, it was a very smart move.
I heard Chip Kelly like gave you a bunch of plays too when you were. He was trying to get you to go to Oregon.
Yeah.
And then you used those Oregon Duck plays to win the national championship in high school.
I didn't use them to win the national championship, but we implemented some of the plays in practice. Cause like my whole senior year when they were recruiting me and stuff, like me and Chip had built a good relationship where we spoke football and he showed me some plays, different ways to read, zone read. Different like trick plays and all that stuff. He'd like throw them into your offense and see, since you call your own plays, add these and see how they work. And every time they were working.
Oh yeah.
Every time.
I mean, it worked in college.
Yeah. So it was Chip I know he was disappointed that I didn't come, but we still had a good relationship outside of that, even afterwards. Yeah. So that was a great time in my life when it was recruiting, and then him helping us out, with some plays. Even though we didn't need the help, we was beating the mess out of everybody.
Yeah, but you guys were ridiculous. But adding that scheme, like probably the most, I'd say the biggest era of innovation potentially, or at least amongst them.
Yep.
In all of college football history, because no one was doing what he was doing
at all.
I mean, now it's whatever. Like Chip's just a dime a dozen. There's the McVays, the Shanahans of the world. Like that's a different thing now. But
and it's crazy. I remember
the biggest gap between Chip Kelly and the next closest thing in spread was just so big.
Yeah, I remember. So when found out that I had went on a visit there and I had a great time there.
Because you're already committed to Miami?
I was already committed to Miami.
Okay.
Man, they started cranking everything up. And then...
They were throwing that money around.
Nah, not no money. It was the lies.
Oh,
with, coach like, oh, yeah, we're going to run spread offense. We're going to change it. We're going to do this. And I'm like, bro, I'm coming to UM. You ain't got to lie to me.
You wanted to stay no matter
what. I'm staying. My boys are coming. I'm coming.
Yeah.
It would be better if you guys ran spread, but...
Because it was pro style before, and they were like, hey, we're going to change it for you.
And I was like, regardless, I'm going to make it work.
Yeah.
So, it didn't matter. It just because I'm here for the school. Like, I'm here because this is the U. Yeah. This is the school, I grew up loving. I want to be here. Mm-hmm. So you ain't got to lie to me. But then it's like we ran spread in spring, and then we ain't touched spread offense after that. And mind you, what bothered me, and I'm not no hurt individual about anything that happened in college, but what bothered me is the amount of guys and how much talent I would look on the side in the middle of the games. This is some thoughts that I've had. I'm looking on the sideline and I see all these 4 and 5-star receivers just standing over there in their sweatpants, and
it's insane.
And I'm like, bro, we are running 2 receivers onto the field. Yeah. All these gangsters on the sideline.
It's so
like
crazy.
We had a whole bunch of
It's the opposite
kids.
Nowadays. Isn't that nuts?
It was a whole bunch of kids that I feel like were screwed based on the type of offense we ran. Because we recruited like we was going to have 5 receivers on the field at a time, but we operated as we're Michigan or a Big Ten school.
Yeah.
So
is that on them though for like going to a pro style, or did they just lie to everyone? They're like, hey,
I don't.
It's like
I have
going to
no
Stanford
idea.
Or something.
Yes, that's how it felt. Like once you got there, it was Stanford, like pro style,
or like going to like Georgia Tech when they were running the triple.
It's we made it work the best way we could, but
it's not your strength as a talent base.
I just feel like
in Miami too, like Miami's known for speed.
Thank you.
This
is Miami.
I think Mario's doing a really good job of like obviously establishing the trenches, which is important at any level of football. But what's Miami known for throughout the history of football?
Yeah.
It's speed.
It's speed.
We're known for receivers and DBs.
If you're gonna recruit all these guys, 4.2, 4.3, fastest guys in the world.
Oh, it's insane.
Please don't put them on the sideline.
Chip here with that team. You guys win multiple national championships.
Man, what? It would have been crazy. But
For sure, right?
Everything happens how it's supposed to happen, which I firmly believe. Because like you never know, it could have been an injury that happened that would have put Miami in the same situation.
Yeah,
and things happen for a reason. All I know is I made the best decision that I ever could have possibly made in my life by coming to University of Miami. That was my, biggest thing. I love this city. I love the school, and would have never did anything different other than change to the spread offense. That's it.
He want to throw the ball. Get your numbers up too.
I used to do it in high school, man. We would be in the backfield, and they would have a box showing that, hey, I'm supposed to be running the ball, but I know I can call certain pass plays that I can still, and my running backs, everybody was on the same page. So everybody knew when it was going to be a run play, when it was going to be a pass play, based off what the defense is giving us.
If there's an extra guy on the box.
Yeah, so my running back like, wait, what you doing?
Yeah, he knows too.
The box. And I'm like, no, I need my yards. Defense ain't getting us past the 50. I can't keep throwing little 10-yard touchdowns. I need yards. Yeah. man, run the ball. So those are healthy debates in the backfield because it's like, yo, we know we're finna accomplish something. We're finna beat this team. And now we're just playing chess with them. Like, okay, all right, I'm gonna run the ball. I've told my running backs one time, don't score on this play.
Really?
Because I can see if I call a zone or if I call this counter play right here, you're a track star. Yeah. You're going to break. Hand the ball off. He breaks. I remember it was Corvin Lamb was playing against Jackson. Doggone hole open. He split it and was gone. And I'm yelling, fall, just trip, something. Because I wasn't.
Because you wanted the tub?
The yards, the touchdowns. Because I wasn't able, with our defense, we weren't able to get a lot of opportunity. Well, we got a lot of opportunities, but they weren't letting people get past the 50-yard line. So all our touchdowns were like we'd run, throw a touchdown for 2 yards or hand the ball off as a touchdown. It was quick touchdowns, but I finished the game 145 yards with 3 touchdowns. Yeah. I'm like, come on now. I need to pad my stats a little bit.
So when you win the Natty, though, that's like just kind of whatever.
Yeah.
What do you think about Teddy taking the job? I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it is cool, man. It was that's something that you gotta want and love, and I'm happy that
he's passionate about that.
Yeah, that he is passionate about it. He's always been somebody that's been very active in the community. So all the kids gonna like him and love him.
I went to go see him the other day because I used to train with him at House of Athlete.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like a little bit of draft prep or like right before camp. So we'd be in there every morning. And after training one day, I went by the school and said what's up to him.
Yeah.
He was doing class checks.
Yeah.
Like, damn, that's crazy.
Hey,
like you go from almost winning a Super Bowl.
I know.
Literally like a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And this dude's doing class checks.
Teddy is the perfect person to coach at
Teddy Two Gloves.
The university.
He's a legend, bro.
The University of Northwestern Senior High School. That's a university. That's not a high school.
Why do you call it that?
It's just different. You go there, the things you learn, the way you coached, everything is different over there. It's like a college program when it comes to football.
Yeah.
So we that's how we used to talk about ourselves as like, nah, we a university program. We used to think like, hey, you put us against any college teams, we'll beat them, like with no problem. And it ain't gonna be based on like physicality. It's gonna be because me and my guys, my receivers, my running backs, my offensive linemen, we will read and decipher everything that you're doing, and we'll be able to call plays. Yeah. You could blitz, do all that stuff. We're gonna call a right play and beat you one-on-one. It don't matter.
Yeah, well, I didn't realize how like locked in you were on the X's and O's. Like you're actually calling your own plays.
Yeah,
like,
you have to be.
That's pretty.
That's crazy.
That's pretty rare.
That helps you. That advances you so much mentally.
Yeah.
Do you guys think you were like that? Was it 07, right? That you won the national championship?
07 was the year we won.
Do you think that 2007 Northwestern team is the best high school football team of all time?
Ever.
Really?
There wasn't not one team that I can see looking around the country at the time that would have beat us.
Well, that year, but I'm saying like in Miami history and nationally.
Yeah.
Really?
I don't know.
Better than Bishop Gorman with Tate Martell, who won. Well, he was a Forest.
He never lost a game.
He never lost a game.
And there's also
I never lost a game either.
Oh,
okay. Yeah.
Okay.
And look, they told us that.
How many years did you play?
I did 2. So
I think he did like 3 or 4.
Yeah, that's cool. But let me explain.
Okay.
South Lake Carroll for 7 years had never lost a game. There's the number 1 team in the nation, and we went over there in Texas and beat them. But they were good. I'm not going to lie to you. They were good. And I think we were one of the first games on ESPN when they first started having high school football on ESPN. Was
that like a Friday Night Lights feel where like the whole town was there?
It was the greatest atmosphere. Michael Irvin, Deion Sanders was on the sidelines.
Yeah. Dude, that just gave me goosebumps.
Trey Newton. We was trying to we went on the field with our magazines inside our pants, and during one of the timeout breaks, hey, Michael Irvin, Deion, y'all can sign this.
No way.
Like, man, y'all pay attention. Funkers, get back up. We're like, man, we trying to get y'all autograph. But, that game, that's when Streeter had 4 catches, 145 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Whoa. Yeah, he balled out that game. And we ran one of their plays for the game-winning touchdown.
South Lake's plays, really?
We called it South Lake.
It's like you saw it on tape.
I was watching them running against us during the game.
Really? During the game, you're like...
During the game.
What was it? What was the concept?
It was an out and up. It was
single side?
It was a post. They ran it. They mirrored it.
So just post wheel.
Post wheel, and they ran it against us and it was hitting the whole shot. And I'm like, man, they keep giving us cover 2.
Yeah.
I say, y'all, we gonna run that same play.
Yeah.
We gonna run the same play, but this is how I want y'all to run it. I'm telling y'all right now, if I call it, it's going to the wheels. Mm-hmm. So the post, all I need y'all to do,
occupy the safety.
Yeah. I need y'all to take his outside shoulder and run straight at his outside shoulder and just look him dead in the eyes. Yeah. Run at him like you possess. And I promise y'all this is gonna be a touchdown. So my receiver, he came off the line and I said I want my wheel to run a lazy flat route. So that when that cover 2 corner pushes you to the flat, he gonna ride with you out there. Once you bend up that sideline, he gonna forget about you because he's like, oh, this dude taking a break.
Yeah.
I said, I ain't gonna look. Whatever side I'm going to, I'm already know, but I ain't gonna look to that side. Yeah. I'm gonna come back. And the post took that safety out, and I'm looking to the left, and I just turned. When I seen that safety start going this way, I ain't even looked to see if the DB stayed with Streeter or nothing. I just threw it. Yeah. I just turned around and just threw it down the sideline. And I see Streeter finally just turn up the sideline. The ball was already in the air, gone. Yeah. Ran up under that quarter touchdown. We went 29-21.
That's hard, bro. In Texas, that's hard.
In Texas.
How many years they didn't lose? Yeah. 7 years?
7 years. From what they had told us. They're like, oh, we need somebody to beat them. They're not humble. They
crazy.
The Dallas Cowboys practice at their facility.
See, and they're in high school. Different there.
Yeah. They're in high school. Man.
But that's pretty impressive for you to have that thought process in high school. Like the way you broke everything down, I'm like, you sound like a coach. So that's respect for sure.
Yeah, it was. I owed it all to my college. I mean, my high school coach, Christopher Perkins.
Okay.
I remember being in high school, even like during the off season and stuff, he'll be sitting outside my classroom waiting on me. It wasn't no regular life for me like in high school. It was
just talk ball.
Hey, we finna go in this classroom and we're gonna be sitting in this classroom all day.
That's hard.
All day.
That's
Northwestern.
University of Northwestern. That's what they said.
It's different, bro. And was Coach AJ the OC?
AJ wasn't the OC. AJ was the receivers coach. See, that's the crazy part.
Okay.
We had Telly Lockett, who's now
he's in college now.
Yeah, he's in college somewhere. He was our offensive coordinator.
Okay.
Christopher Perkins was the quarterback coach, and AJ was the wide receiver coach.
And
these are all guys
like South Florida coaching legends, all on one team.
And masterminds.
It's like a perfect storm.
So he was the perfect receiver coach, perfect quarterback coach, and the perfect person to be the OC. Yeah. And I only had him for 1 year. Yeah. But if we'd have had him even like that national championship year, we'd have beat people even worse.
Oh, yeah.
Like, because they just the way they were with us, coaching wise, I had never been coached like that afterwards. And I feel like what coaches from universities don't understand is when you recruit these guys from certain areas, you should look at their coaches to see why they were why these guys are good and why. See what their mental mindset is. Go to a practice and watch how their coach coached them. Yeah. Because then you can learn what pushes this kid to be better.
It's hard coaching usually.
Because I agree with that.
100%. You're the bull. You've seen it, of
that's
course.
What I'm saying.
Oh yeah, I mean that's
you can't have a soft coach trying to coach some of these guys where these guys, man, they grew up, man, bro. I will whoop your ass, coach. Like,
oh yeah.
and sometimes you got to show them as a coach. Nah, all right, come on.
I've been in practices down here where like they're squaring off, like they're throwing hands.
Yeah.
I don't know how it is in North Carolina.
But I think, watch out now. Hey, tighten up. But going back to what he said, I think what you said is very smart. Like, I think every player is coached differently. Mm-hmm. And like you said, every player is motivated differently.
Yep. That's
something I had a problem with when I played in college. Like, they would try to find different ways, I guess, to motivate certain players on the team. Like, yo, we need you to do this on the third. So some coaches would yell at you and cuss, but some kids wouldn't respond. Mm-hmm. And then some kids just need just like a little bit of love. Like, hey, like, you're doing this well, but try this.
Yep.
And I think that's a key thing right now in college football that they think, oh, I'm a coach the only way I was raised, and that's it. And if you don't adapt, then you're not coachable. No, your job is a coach. Now the kids aren't gonna be perfect. Your job is to get there and help mold them to the player that you want. But you got to find different ways to get there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
And
you're a teacher. When you're a coach, you're a teacher. So
you're a teacher.
You're a teacher.
You can, as a coach. What I'm learning as a coach, I'm not coaching, but just sitting back watching. You cannot 20% of what you're gonna be doing is trying to show this kid different ways to run a route or different ways to catch the ball or stuff like that. All the physical stuff is gonna be like 20% of it, because that kid already got that. Whatever talent that kid got, he already got it. So you just 20% honing up some of his skills and showing them things that you did, or if you never played, then you just teaching them what you learned on YouTube. That's how some of the coaches are now.
But, that's not good.
But 80% of it, to me, should be focused on that psychiatric part.
Yeah.
Becoming mentally understanding who this kid is. Right. Because if you can mentally break this kid down and understand, if you really love your job, you pretty much got to be like a psych major and go and like, okay, I know if I speak to this kid a certain way, if I show him this, if I show him love here, if I cuss him out in front of these people, he's going to react X, Y, Z. If you break down instead of breaking down film, if you break down your group of guys that you're coaching and just show them the love and show them and coach them how they should be coached based on how their mental makeup is.
They'll do anything for you.
They'll do anything for you. And then now you got guys that you coach in a certain way. You ain't even teaching them the offense. They done learn by themselves because they trust that much in you that they don't want to let you down.
That's the biggest thing.
Because they like, you know what? This coach here cares about me. No matter what, I might not step on the field this year because of whatever circumstances, but I'm going to be prepared because I don't want to let him down.
Yeah.
And some coaches don't look at things like that. And I watch it. I've went through it where coaches like, hey, learn these plays. You learn the plays, but it's like, that ain't how you coach somebody.
It's not coaching.
That's you half-assing your job.
Yeah.
Because we're still in the development role in college. It's not the pros.
Again,
you're a teacher in college. You're not okay, you already got a finished product and now we're gonna just give you plays and you go do what you do. No, let me show you how to read this.
It's a developmental role.
Yeah. As a quarterback, all right, you never read nothing in college. All right, let me give you plays that'll help you. Like I could give you a flood concept to the field and then backside have double digs or something like that or a post dig combination. The way right now, based on how I know offenses and stuff like that, that concept is simple. It's going to look, if he does it the right way, it's going to look like he's reading through this offense, but all it is a right to left read. Yeah. Or if he's a left-handed quarterback, a left to right read, because the flood concept, you got the outside guy on the vertical. That's just an alert. Just in case you get man to man, you might see something that you want to take. Then you got the deep out. The deep out, you could see that down to your flat. But now you seeing that as like a 1A, 1B based on the flat defender. If you don't like that, or if you got like the Mike backer
come back to you
pushing this way, so now you got 4 guys on 3. You don't like that, they pushing this way, work your eyes there, but just know you can work your way back to you got the post that might be a shot just based on whatever coverage, and then you got your dig down to your check down. So it's like a little sweep the board concept. Yeah. That's something simple. You don't need to know what the defense doing at all. Just go just like this down to your check down.
That's like air raid principle. I don't know if you've ever played air raid, but that was like kind of what we had at SC with Graham. And I was like, because I came from pro style at Vanderbilt, and so like everything was based off of like 1 high, 2 high coverage, like zone side, man side, all that kind of stuff. All these pre-snap reads, and like everything's dependent on coverage. And I get to air raid, and it's like, forget everything you learned. It's all shotgun read, 1, 2, 3, 4, check down.
Yeah.
Like regardless, I'm like, coach, like it's cover 2, like we have a 10-yard speed out, like pre-snap, like that's out of my progression. Like why would I look at it? And like the way it times up in that system, you have to go through. And it took me a very long time to like.
And that's why I'm trying to see why, like QBs don't take drops anymore.
Yeah,
because the only way for 7-on-7. Yes, the only way for you to get to that backside say, yeah, he called this concept, and against cover 2, this side doesn't work, but he still wants you to set your eyes that way because it's still going to get this backside open.
To something else, yeah.
That's that 1, 2, 3, bomb hitch. That's not there. Now, second hitch, I'm back. I should be delivering the ball backside. And if not, now I should run or go to my check down.
Yeah.
If you don't have those taking these drops and have that timing in your head, that's why these guys are running around more. Yeah, they making plays and all that. Right. But you can stay in the pocket if you're on time. Your feet is going to tell you when you need to get out of there. Because once you take your 3 or 2 hitches, your feet start, now that means you need to go.
Right.
Whatever you're doing, you need to go. But, I do notice that. A lot of quarterbacks now are just catch, rocking, and just sitting there.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's the new culture of 7-on-7.
And that's why a lot of them late. You be late on your throws because you're rocking, but you're not set. You're not in a rhythm that soon as you see this, because now it's, I see it. Now I got to drop low. Now I got to gather, throw, bomb, pick, because you're late. Whereas if you 1, 2, 3, okay, that's not there. I'm in my hitch, ready to throw. So as soon as my head turn, I'm already positioned to throw. Yeah. You don't see that stuff when you.
It's kind of this interesting, almost paradox. It's like a theory. That we had a coach on the podcast, and he was saying like the quarterback play in the NFL is the lowest it's ever been. And I was like, is it? And like he attributed it to like 7-on-7 culture. And I was like, I kind of thought it was the opposite because like there's so many younger guys starting. So it's like these conflicting kind of ideas that
it is conflicting.
It's I think it's good and bad. Like guys are getting a lot of reps earlier because of it, but maybe it's bringing some bad habits.
It is. I feel like you're getting a lot of guys that are talented going to the NFL, but mentally you're not getting anybody that can like spit something out at you until they get to the NFL.
Right.
Because it's like watching it, you can tell like anybody, to me, I would never draft a guy that's at a team to where they're doing the whole and then they look to the sideline for you to call a play. If I got to call a play for you, if I call a play and you can't get me in and out of it as offensive coordinator, if I'm making the plays, if I'm calling them, if you can't see and get me in and out of it based on what I've taught you, then I'm doing a horrible job.
See, I don't know though, because with Lincoln, we would do check with me plays, and his guys have had more success traditionally in college than in the league. But I'd say Baker had a good year.
Yeah,
Kyler's a franchise guy. Jalen's he did all right last year, but the year before. So it's like I don't know. We did that at SC though.
Yeah, so, I just don't like it. Yeah, I would never be the one to tell, because if you got to check with me, then you don't know what you're doing. To me.
Yeah, or sometimes he can see something that maybe it's harder to see, like from the box or something. But I get what you're saying.
When Jed Fish was here,
I wanted to ask you about him.
Yeah, when I had Jed Fish as my offensive coordinator, which is my last year, he gave me the ability to check out a lot of stuff. And me and him was on the same page. And I love coaching. I mean, playing for Jed Fish. He was a good person, everything. He knew how to coach. And I remember we played against VTech, and simple things such as like I hand the ball off to Lamar, and I think we got stopped probably with second down, and timeout was called, and I'm running to the sideline, and I'm like, hey, coach, I don't know if you've seen it, but I've been watching the whole time down the field. We should run. And then he just finished my sentence. He was like, oh, yeah, you want to throw backside to Street on the fade right now for a touchdown.
Love it.
And I was like, yeah. Hey, you know, I was finna. He's like, from now on, I'm going to give you a formation and you call a play.
Wow.
He's like, I'll give you the formation and protection and you call a play.
So back to high school.
Dog, and I'm talking about, we played Ohio State. Formation, and he'll be like this. That means you go ahead and call a play.
Really?
And touchdown, Allen Hurns. Here we go. Ran double. Now, based on what I see, based on leverage, I can have my receivers tell me.
Because you could see what pre-snap they're in.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You might call a play, and we got all slants on, but the DB sitting like inside leverage and all this stuff, and then my receivers looking at me. Hey, bro, he inside.
Yeah.
They could tell me that, and I'll be like, hey, yo, check off. We here.
You could just check out of it.
Hey, Street. Here's Sky. That mean I'm finna throw you a fade.
Yeah.
We ran that same play against Florida State and Xavier Rose backside, him and Streeter. I don't care if we just ran this and you know the signal. Guess what? It's y'all the only two. Y'all keep calling this coverage where it's just you and Streeter backside. Mm-hmm. I'm going to keep going there. Yeah. Coach, you could keep calling whatever play you want. I'm finna look backside, Street, boom. I did like 3 times in a row, 3 completions in a row. Yeah. And then they finally gave me the 2 shell. They rolled to the 2. And I was like, all right, now I'm going to focus front side. Yeah. So until y'all roll that, I'm not changing. We going to keep doing it one-on-one. And if he get tired, we're going to put another receiver. You better change your DB because now I'm finna run a go. So that's how it should be played.
Freedom. He's creative, man. Like what he did at Arizona was really, really special.
That's why he's successful, man. Yeah. Because he's a player's coach. He caters to what the strengths of his players is. He doesn't sit up there and is one of those guys that's like, oh no, we're just doing things my way. Okay. It's my way or the highway. I call this, you need to do. It ain't like that. All right, look, Jacory, you don't like this? We not running that ever again. This is my favorite play, Jacory, but if that's not yours, we not ever running that. Yeah. So I love Jetfish.
Yeah. No, they were successful.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you too, how you think. Davon's always asking me about like, why are you smiling already? Go ahead. I don't know what she's gonna say. Like this draft class, like he called me the other day about like Caleb Williams, right? Mm-hmm. I played with Caleb at SC, and like the whole thing of like I don't know. There's all these like mixed opinions about him, like him not throwing, like whatever. People think he's like a prima donna. I want to ask you, like, do you think the quarterback position? Do you think like guys have more freedom now? Like it seems like the perception of guys has changed, and like I would tie it back to like. I was reading about like the interview you did with Dan Lebitard, where you're talking about like when you were up for like Heisman and all that, like going up with the pink suit, and that probably created like kind of like an uproar, like maybe some people didn't like it. I love it. I think it's awesome.
It was a lot of people didn't, but
really,
yeah.
But can you walk? Because I don't think Davon knows that about that. Okay, can you tell Davon about this?
No, I had.
I did a bad job setting this up.
No, so my sophomore year, we was on a roll, and at the time. Based on the type of games we was having, like it was like
beat Florida State on the road.
Yeah, it was some game. Yeah. Oklahoma at home, they was ranked like number 2. Georgia Tech was ranked like number 9. We beat them at home. So we was on a roll and we were playing like well, like really well. And that was the most fun I had. Like I was balling. But it's like how you say it. During all that, I was I think Tim Tebow won it that year. He won the Heisman that year. Okay. But I led the entire year. The entire year from week 1, the little like pre-Heisman polls and all that stuff. I was in front all the way until the first week that it was getting ready to come out. And we played against North Carolina. But before that I had and did an interview and they asked me, they was like, hey, Donna Shalala and all that, they're asking like, no, I did the interview and I was like, hey, I'm gonna be the first person to wear a pink suit with an afro and a little chalice cup to the Heisman ceremony.
They said nope, that boy not.
That's exactly what happened, bro. I think they broke my finger on purpose, made me keep playing. That's like, yeah, we're not finna let this happen.
You think they were playing with like extra edge because of that?
Nah, I'm just joking. But it was like then North Carolina game. I remember throwing a pass like the very first drive. Finger gets stuck inside Marvin Austin's helmet, and as he coming down, it just snapped. And I played the rest of the season like that. Yeah, I tore everything.
How do you throw all my like ligaments.
That? Look, when let me tell you, when I came back in the game, my thumb was swollen. Yeah. And I still came back in the game. Man, I remember Hank had a post. He had routed the dude up. Boom. I see him. I throw that thing.
You just let it go.
Man, that ball went somewhere. I'm like, where is it going?
You can't spin a ball.
Because I couldn't grip it. So I was learning how to throw again during the game.
Like that's crazy.
Yeah, so it ended up affecting me for the rest of the year because then after that, man, it'll be like random times where I'm good on a roll and then it started wearing down again, tired and hurting, and then it'll be, I'm like, damn.
Did you ever like shoot it up or anything?
Nah, I never did.
Pills or anything?
All I did was tape it up, wrap it and keep it tight so it could stay in place. And then at the end of the season, I ended up having surgery. I was out for 7 months.
7.
So I didn't come back until I didn't practice the whole spring.
Seven's like a ACL.
So yeah,
So your thumb,
that was dog. It was
throwing.
So with ligaments take a long time to heal. So that's a major surgery.
Yeah,
and you would think, especially with the, how everything was going, you would think that, he finna lose his job, because everybody, that's all the fans would be. Oh yeah, because they don't know what's going on.
So no one knew.
No one knew until the end of the season. I ain't even know it was torn.
Because out of nowhere, you just started struggling, and
Look,
everyone's
they were not finna put me up under no X-rays or MRI machine and see it and confirm it.
Because they wanted you to keep playing.
Because they wanted me to keep playing. So it was like, nah, hey, look, don't worry, just wrap it up. You're gonna be good. We'll rehab. But I'm like, yo,
that's a different era.
This thing hurt. So, but I kept playing like 6 more games like that, and then the end of the season, the specialist had came in and he was like, hey, your ligaments are torn. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. I thought it was just a bruise. Thought it was just a bruise. And
they always say it's just a little bone bruise, contusion. That's what they say.
Yeah,
everything be bro. Your hand be
back
swollen.
In the days, they'd just be like, hey, they'll put a little stem machine on it.
Oh,
stem and ice.
Ice and stem.
Ice and stem.
This stem, man, this thing just pulsating. I'm like, man, this ain't doing nothing, man. Stem and ice.
It doesn't do anything, bro.
Yeah.
And now they're saying ice actually makes it worse.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Freezing it in place. I don't know. I wouldn't know, man, but I still wouldn't trade none of that for anything, because it teaches you perseverance, and it builds character going through that.
Yeah.
And overcoming it.
Right.
Because like, there's no way I should have been a starting quarterback after that.
With that playing through that.
Yeah, playing through that, because it's like, look at this. I'm out. I didn't throw a pass until training camp, right before training camp. So if you can't take my job while I'm not there, then come on.
Yeah.
Who was the backup at that time?
It's my boy, Steven
Morris.
Steven Morris. Oh. Yeah, that's my boy. But it was like, I'm not finna let, hey, you can, and I used to always tell Steven, Marv, hey, y'all are physically more talented than me. I know that. Y'all can make all the throws. Y'all can, hold the ball a little bit longer and deliver a deep shot or something like that.
Right.
I say, but where I'm going to get y'all is, mentally, I'm going to know everything I need to know. And I'm willing to help y'all do that too. Like, I'm not the type of person that's not...
Can't be green,
Yeah, because I want to win.
Yeah.
So if y'all need help and they're planning on making y'all the starter and all that stuff, I'm going to be right here helping you. Like, and that's why me and Steven had a good relationship, because they even gave Steven had the shot to take it from me. And, of course I'm finna come back and I'm gonna do my thing, but it was like, hey, I don't care. Mm-hmm. It's a competition. If they feel like you won the competition, you win the competition. Just know that I'm gonna be on point. Yeah. So that's why I ain't never lose my starting job.
What I was getting at though was, like, that interview was probably like the biggest story in South. Like, it was a huge story because like a guy coming out and saying that, like, that confidence kind of thing, like, it was less ubiquitous, like, within sports and like college athletes saying that. And nowadays, like, if Drake May said that preseason or like during the season, like, it'd be a story, but it would be like, that's like common, right?
Yeah.
So it feels like there's been like
a couple things, even with the, I don't know how true it is, but before, I remember when I told them what my nickname was, who Joel Figueroa on the team, one of my offensive linemen had gave me the nickname J12. So before that, nobody was online or out there on the news media using like the acronyms and the numbers and all that stuff. So that year it was J12. Like, that was the first time people were saying like nicknames. That's J12,
hard. Yeah,
this,
like
that.
CP3 or something.
Because then later, like the next year, then they started the RG3. So RG3 was the next one. Yeah. And then it just took off. Oh, this is how we acknowledge kids and stuff like that now. It was a lot of things, man. I remember A-Rod, Alex Rodriguez, we had after the Oklahoma game. So I used to do things strategically. I had the little eye reflector thing.
Eye black.
But I had the ones that you paste on.
The stickers.
The stickers.
Yeah.
And I put on the Rock Nation. At that time, I think Jay-Z had then just started like Rock Nation or something like that. And I had put Rock Nation on one of my favorite rappers. And I ain't think nothing of it. But we beat the number 2 team in the country. Yeah. And then they have this still photo of me in my helmet. And you just see Rock Nation.
That's hard.
And A-Rod come up to me that week. Hey, Jacory, come here. Hey, you can sign this? I'm like, yeah, sign for you? Yeah, of course. Yeah. It's one for me, and then Jay-Z asked me to get this picture for you. Yeah. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. That's crazy. This is crazy. You got The Rock over there in the back lifting weights and stuff. Look like he preparing for another movie role or something. Those are the great things that you get from the University of Miami. T.O. come out there.
That's hard.
Running routes, and Plaxico Burress. All these guys that people always didn't even go to UM, but are coming out here and want to be around the program. They in summer workouts with us running 110s, 32 110s today. Oh, they out there running. They hurting because you don't do that in the NFL, but they out there with us, and it's showing us that, hey, if you continue to keep this mindset, you could be where we are. So that's what I love, that type of stuff by UM.
Can you explain I don't know much about it, like the Shapiro stuff with like the boosters and like how did all that work? Like, were you cool with them?
I was cool with Shapiro. It's the thing is, I was always like, I tell people, I'm a smart dude. I pay attention and I watch and observe everything. I never knew what he did, and so to me that was always on the sketchy side. I'm like, I don't know what this guy does, but he's rich, he's loaded. He got access to a lot of stuff. He got access to a lot of people. I think he knew like Dwayne Wade, them.
Oh, everyone. I think he knew like Shaq.
Yeah, he was cool with everybody. But I'm always the person, because I don't care about none of that stuff. It's based on how you treat me. Yeah. He was always cool, but I remember I overheard him wanting Marv to just be the starter. He didn't want me playing at all. Really? He ain't saying it in a bad way. He was just like, I don't understand this 2 quarterback system stuff. Right. I think Marv should just be the starter. Okay. So
this is when you first came in.
Yeah. So all this stuff was freshman year with Shapiro. So I backed away from him. Like, I wasn't really around him like that no more. Because I'm like, I'm not, if I know somebody feel that way, I'm not finna be.
I wouldn't be cool with
buddy. Like, and I'm one of those people who I always say this: infiltrate from within. Never let nobody know that you don't like them, because you never know where you're gonna be and where that person's gonna be in life.
For sure.
Not saying kiss nobody ass, anything like that.
Keep it cool. Play the game.
Keep it cool. Don't burn bridges. There's no reason to burn bridges. Yeah. It's nothing in this world that's that serious, unless he didn't try to take your life. Right. So now that's a different story. But man, all this petty stuff. Oh, he was talking about me. Okay, cool. Like, it's happened with me at work before. I done caught somebody talking trash about me. And, he tried to apologize and everything like that. But guess what I did? I was like, no, it's cool. Like, hey, man, don't worry about it.
Just play it off.
Because I know for 24 hours at this job, I'm going to do everything I can to save you if something happened to you. I'm going to do everything I can to work with you together as a team. Like, you my brother for 24 hours. And then, but outside of here, I'm not going to have drinks with you. I'm not inviting you around my family and all that stuff. Right. Like, so if I'm not doing all that stuff, let me just do my job. And my job as a firefighter is to be here for 24 hours and give my best me to the citizens of this neighborhood. Right. And so that's all I care about. So it's like, all that, you was talking trash about me and all that, hey man, guess what? It is what it is. Yeah. I don't care about that stuff.
No, I think that's a good mindset to have, and like I think a lot of young people, I could even probably incorporate that into my life too. You know what I mean? I think sometimes you think off of emotions, kind of like with the Cam Newton situation. I don't know if you've seen that. He sent out an apology, and he was like, "Listen." And
I love his response.
It was really big as a North Carolina fan and growing up seeing him kind of like, I guess, mature. I don't think younger Cam would have handled it like that. Mm-hmm. So to see him kind of speak about it and kind of, basically trying to use this as an example of how, in an instance, your life could be changed. Mm-hmm. I really respected that.
Because look, he understood. All right, the moment happened.
Yeah.
And, you know, being caught up in the moment, he's still human. He's still, you know, that was pretty much like a fight or flight situation. Like, hey, I'm responding to this, and I'm going to handle it how I'm going to handle it right now. But then for you to be an adult, instead of like the other guys, they went on to different podcasts is talking about, he was talking junk. He's been talking trash about us.
Throwing money in my face.
Yeah, he been doing all this.
Why would he apologize if he got jumped?
The whole time, whole time, I'm trying to figure out, okay, wait, you guys are complaining about words. Nobody put their hands on you.
Yeah,
nobody threatened your life.
But they never said what they did as well.
And it don't even matter.
What did they do?
Because
no one knows. Cam didn't even take time to say. He said, "I'm at fault. I'm the bigger person.
That's how you take ownership."
And he got the most. He got the most money.
I don't get that.
Or to lose. So
what did he do wrong though? He was defending himself, or do I have that wrong? I only saw a clip of him.
So he was supposedly just talking trash,
right?
And then they got into it.
So he was okay.
He was talking trash.
He was saying he shouldn't have been talking.
He should no. He was just saying he shouldn't. It shouldn't have escalated to that point.
Okay.
You could talk all the trash. You could talk all the trash you want.
Yeah.
I grew up off of sticks and stones may break my bones, but words may never hurt me.
Right.
So why am I getting like mad about somebody verbally talking to me? And he said it. Cam was like, bro, I have had people tell me the worst of things and I've never reacted. Right. And he was like, so I apologize to my fans, to kids that look up to me, to everybody that I'm preaching to be like this. Yeah. I apologize because he had a human moment. Yeah. And it's okay. You had a human moment. But you got 7 people jumping you. You should have all the human moments you want. And the way he handled himself in that situation, you got it. Let these regular dudes know, hey, look, bro, like I played ball, like.
Bro, not only
this is a different type of training.
But that
like
dude is 6'6", 250.
Yes, please don't run up on me like that. If you gonna try somebody, try Jacory. Don't try me.
Jacory is crazy.
I ain't 6'6", 250, so that's a different. That's a different breed.
But he also didn't swing either.
He didn't swing. He just pushed. But you could tell in his mind, he knows. He knows.
He has more to lose.
I got more to lose.
He's way more.
And he said the biggest thing he said that really stuck with me is like he has people depend on him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Coaches that he gave jobs to. He got his wife and kids, and then he got players too.
Yeah.
So he's like,
he said he paying $25,000 for each term, each camp,
and they got 8 of them.
8 of them
out of pocket.
Quarter million.
Out of pocket.
Oh, geez.
A little bit over $250,000.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, yeah, under $250,000, but it's he's doing that out, and that's what I don't. It's hard, man, and it sucks because it's like it's only on that high school level that happens because you got so much security on the college level that you would never get touched. Yeah. But on that high school level where you're making yourself more open and you're allowing yourself to be touched by these kids, and now their family and friends. Yeah. You don't expect it to happen, but it happens a lot. Yeah. So
I don't know how y'all were down here, but I know the most hostile environment sometimes for us were like Little League football, like
that's
you know what I mean? Because parents are incorporated.
Oh yeah, Little League.
For us,
especially in South Florida.
I didn't see so many fights. Like my nephew gonna beat you today. You know what I mean? You know how it is.
There's a lot of people gambling.
I wanted to ask you about that.
Yeah, it's big.
Do you have any crazy stories with like guys gambling like on your team or like conflicts or like fights and stuff like that?
I've had them. I won't speak on names or nothing like that, but you had them.
Not names, but I'm just curious because I've heard about it, I've seen it.
But this was mostly high school.
Okay.
I done seen dudes get robbed like by teammates in high school.
By teammates?
By own teammates and them teammates coming to practice.
Because they were betting on the game?
No, not even on the game, just regular gambling and stuff like that. But I get you on game-wise. I've had people come to me in high school and just like, kind of threaten me like, oh, y'all lose this game, don't come home, stuff like that. Yeah. That's why we ain't never lose a game. We ain't never lose a game. Look to that sideline and you like, man.
But it's a real thing.
It's a real thing. It's luckily I ain't never had to deal with it, but shoot, my not backup quarterback, but when I was a freshman in high school, the quarterback that was starting, I remember something happened to him. I don't want to, state what it was because I ain't see it. But something happened to his house when we got back because we lost.
Really?
So it was like people, police sitting out, staking
like
out.
This legitimate threat if you lose a game.
In South Florida.
In South Florida high school football.
These people, they be betting a lot of money. So you got guys in the stands that's like...
So we just mad. Like, how's that even fixing anything?
So look, you know how the bookies is. You know, you might have games that might be 2-3 point spreads. In college, 20-point spreads and stuff like that. When they was betting on us, it was people in the stands that was like, hey, I give y'all 45 points.
45?
And I bet the West gonna cover.
Bro, that's who we were playing, cover. Dude? We were a blind team?
We were playing the top teams in the nation. Like Miami Central was number 7. They was ranked ahead of us because we were still on the up and up.
And that spread would have been fat, like 30, 40 points.
We beat them like 54 zip. Then Miami Carol City was top in the nation. We beat them like 59 zip.
Yeah,
we were not playing with nobody. Like we were killing people. So they
having to cover 45 points and
45-point spread.
And if you don't, like, something might happen. Is
I done had my receivers. I done had people, moms, come up to me. Hey, my son, I put a bet in. My son need two touchdowns and 180 yards this game. Huh? He my best receiver, but I'm like, what? 2 touchdowns, 180?
Now you gotta feed him.
Guess what? Guess what the first 20 passes going to until he get his. Hey,
really?
Go ahead, get yours, bro. Come on. All right, you finished the game. You got 3 touchdowns and 200 yards. All right, now let me feed everybody. This is how easy it was for us in high school.
Bro, you should have gone in on that.
No, I ain't, and that's one thing I pride myself of. I ain't never take no money from nobody.
Yeah.
I refuse to do that because you watch different movies.
Yeah, of course.
Like Jesus Shuttlesworth. You see these people, man, these people gonna be coming at your head. Like, you can't never say that I owe you something or you made me something like that.
No. We had a clip.
Never say that.
We had a clip kind of like go viral this past week where I was telling a story of like someone came up to me when I was in Nashville playing at Vanderbilt. And like the reality is I don't actually know if it was like actual mafia or not. It's just like it could have been just someone messing with me. But like they're like, hey, this is what we do in the SEC. Like we're just approaching you. I was just like at a bar, and it was like my sophomore year heading into my junior year, and like I was the 2 my sophomore year, so I was like projected to be the guy going into that next year. So I have no idea what it was, but it was kind of nuts. And then like he sent me his number. And again, this is like a long time ago, so I'm like kind of piecing together the memories. I also don't want to get like killed or anything.
That boy
I wasn't on this show.
That boy out here snitching. Hey, I'm not. Hey, I'm only a co-host.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I actually don't know
who this guy is.
The only reason I would tell the story is because I kind of don't. I'm not sure like what actually happened. Yeah. If I went through like an actual meeting, I probably wouldn't say anything.
Bro, it's a lot of things that have happened.
Around sports in general, there's always so much.
Like he invited me like some dinner, like with like other people within the organization, and I just didn't respond. And I was just kind of like try to stay away from it. But.
Yeah, it's you gotta know. Even though you were
good job,
kids,
Mo. You're upstanding citizen.
Dude, I was honestly scared, bro. Like I didn't know what to say. So
even though you're a kid at the time, and a lot of things you don't know, you still know morally. If it's right or wrong.
Well,
like, it's certain things you like.
I just didn't want to die.
Yeah,
basically.
I feel you. It's a scary world to live in, but man, you as long as you live it right and you do right by others,
no, for sure,
you'll never have nothing to worry about.
And it's like I want to play in the league, so it's like that's the last thing you want to get involved in. Like that's that's the kiss of death right there. If you're doing, you know what I'm saying? Like the league's the goal. Like you've been playing since you were little. Yeah, it was like a few $100,000 isn't gonna cover for that.
I'm gonna mess that up now.
But transitioning, I know you said, you're doing firefighter now, but just talking, this is my first time meeting you, talking to you, and kind of, it seems like you have a very high football IQ, and it seems like you're really for the players. I don't know if you have or not, again, it's my first time meeting you, but would you ever consider like going back and coaching at UM or coaching at your high school? 'Cause I feel like kids could really learn a lot. Like, example, like I feel like Jacory, example, at Miami right now. Obviously, they have a great quarterback coach there, OC there now, but I think just having an alumni like that and you were African-American quarterback, have someone like that and, in his ear, him and Cam Ward, I think it would be huge. Like, you really... You
a quarterback coach or even that receiver spot.
Like you inspired me to play quarterback today, and I can't throw the ball.
No, I'm telling you, man, it's like I would love to coach. I would love to, but I feel like at this point in my life, it's hard. You know, I don't want to say all the benefits of being a firefighter, but I have a lot of time to where I can really enjoy my life. For 20-something years of my life, 27 years of my life, it was dedicated to football, solely football, off season, everything. So it's like now me being able to travel and me not having to be obligated to do anything if I don't want to. It's a joy being around my daughter, being able to, you know, watch her go through the things that she go through and be there at a soccer practice or have the time to do any of those things. It's like, okay, am I gonna pass that up right now for 24 hours, 365? Might get 2-3 weeks off in this, you know, throughout the year. Will I pass it off to make, say, a couple $100,000? I don't think it's worth it right now.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it's worth it.
It's a different grind.
You're telling me you're gonna pay me $1 million? Well, then I'll go do it.
Yeah. I mean,
but 300-400 ain't gonna make me move.
But I'm saying, I think you could, you know, after talking to you today, I
know I got to look at it outside of money.
And I think I get it. I think, you know, like you said, you dedicate your life, and now you want to be selfish, take care of your family. I get that, and right now you value your time. But I'm saying, it's always about the future, and the kids are the future. So if you can take what you have and your knowledge and pass it on to someone, that's the whole, because someone probably did it for you, like you said. You know what I mean? Well, it's kind of like with Teddy Bridgewater.
Like I'm saying, if I'm past my knowledge wouldn't be telling you to be a football player.
Oh, okay.
That's the thing. So, but if you are
right,
and I get what you're saying, like with the kids, because I ain't trying to be like an how you said
antagonist.
Nah, like I'm not trying to go against what you're saying.
Yeah.
But if I do like have the urge sometimes where I'm like, man, like especially today being out there on the field, and talking to Cam and
it's cool,
being around the coaches, and I'm like, I feel like this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah,
because it's what you know. It's what we all know.
Yeah, but then I also look back and I'll be like, but you do love doing the traveling thing and all that stuff as well, and being free.
If they gave you like a consulting opportunity where you can go like in and out, that'd be like
I'm gonna be honest. If I had the opportunity to be there, like to speak to the kids and show them, like just like consistently be around, like I want to be around the program. I want to be involved, and I can give them knowledge. I could talk to them about the ups and downs because I done seen both sides. Like I done seen the highs of both sides, especially in college football, where someone was way up here, and I done seen it where someone, and I can explain to you my mindset at both levels and in between.
That's huge.
And because a lot of guys they haven't had that roller coaster in their lives yet, and it's gonna happen. Oh yeah. No matter what, it's gonna happen.
It's hard.
And when you have somebody that can, like I said, coaching is 80% of being that type of person.
Your mentor.
Yeah, like you've being that mentor.
You've been in their
big
shoes.
brother or father.
Especially, like, so in high school, you got to coach. You got to develop. You got to, hey, look, you setting the foundation. College is more so, all right, let me scale back on setting some of the foundation because this is who I have. They're talented enough to be here at my school, especially if you got a D1 school. They're talented enough. Now let me pour into this kid. Yeah. Let me show him how to study. Let me show him what I deemed important coming up as a quarterback and all that stuff. And then like NFL, that's more so of just, hey, let me guide you. Here, you the man. Let me call these plays. Build a relationship with you. You could be friends and all that stuff, but it's more so just a working relationship. So it take away all of that. Now that person is just on their own.
More business.
College is where I think I would have a good impact, and I think it scares me going out there.
Because you know you'd be so good at it.
Because I know, and it's like talking football with the people, and then especially not knowing anything. I don't know none of the plays, but sitting back and just watching the play develop, and looking at eyes and looking at how things, I'm like, okay, he got to go backside to. Oh, dang, he just did it. I don't know what route they got, but based on the number 2 guy running straight to the flat, something from the break back in, a curl, a dig, something behind it. Boom, there you go the curl, there you go the dig.
Woo,
okay,
let's go. Let's bring
Jacory in. So, but I would have to get myself back into learning a lot. I have to relearn, a lot of formations and all that stuff. But
just the terminology.
Yeah, terminology.
Concepts are all kind of like the same.
And bro, I learned how to read
just the words.
That's why, I had a coach, Kent Austin. He's at Auburn now. Yeah, he was my coach in the CFL. Bro, he was breaking things down to like triangles on the field. Oh. And at first I was like, bro, talk about triangles. What is he? Yeah. So he started showing how, like, if you read 3 guys to one side with that's over your 2 guys.
Like 2 by 3, yeah.
Yeah, like
3 on 2.
Yeah, say it's the 3 on 2. So now you got the wheel, backside, strong safety in the corner. It's a triangle. Boom. So this is your, however you say it. You got the triangle, whatnot. The legs of the triangle should tell you what zones to throw the ball in, and it'll tell you the coverage. So if you got where you got the corner, the wheel, strong safety, you got like an L, boom, that long piece right there, that area is one of your hole shots. That's now, once that triangle goes like this, or this guy goes up, everything stay the same. It's just that now this guy goes up. Now all the flats should be your area. But then as the play developing, this guy rolls this way. This guy still stays here. This is your angle. This is your area. So it's like a flow. It's like watching the triangle rotate and all that stuff. You'll see it. And once he started saying that, because he'll piece it all the way across the field. It's like it was in Canada, it was like 6 zones.
Right.
Yeah. And when you start piecing it and reading that way, and you'll be like, okay, now the mic backer went to the right. So he added himself to this triangle. Okay, bomb, this guy darted this way. This guy stayed back. The mic went back. Boom, my area is right here. So whatever route concept that's coming in that area, you ain't even got to know. That's how he built his plays. So he would set up the thing, and he'll place a guy in that area, place a guy in this area, place a guy in that area, place a guy coming to this area. So now when you're doing the play, once you get those rotations, you can just throw blindly, and somebody's coming. Somebody's coming. That's what I was telling you earlier, how the digs and all that stuff in the offense I was running was a lot different. Instead of running digs, only time you really running a dig is a man because you're trying to run away from the person. Right. But every zone play, we had a kid named Luke Tasker. This kid, Ivy League guy, would be in the slot, have a dig, and you'll be like, yo, you cannot stop his digs because he's going to get lower than the lowest defender. You got 2 guys, he'll run outside, and he'll curl right in there. So that guy could close that window, but you'll throw it, and he'll make them smash into each other because they'll be trying to converge on the throw, but he working his way back. You know, most guys, you see them, they run their curl and they sit. Yeah. Every time he running back, catch that ball, gone. So
makes it quarterback friendly too.
Yeah, it's quarterback friendly. Someone. It's quarterback friendly. Yeah. Like you really trust him. Yeah. Like, that guy.
You get more touches that way.
And he was so good. Like he will have like seam routes. Yeah. And you know, if the quarterback not on time with a seam, now you might be too far. Yeah. He learned how to throttle everything down.
Yeah, that football IQ.
His IQ is that's savage.
He understands spacing and leverage.
Yes, it's all about spacing. Yeah. That's what I always teach people, man. When you lining up out there, make sure you get the proper spacing because that spacing is gonna make the defense stretch out more and give you those windows to make those throws. Yeah.
Last thing I wanted to touch on was your experience in Philly with the Eagles. And I was looking at that roster. I think it was like, 2012?
12.
Yeah, 2012. And I didn't realize how stacked it was. Yeah. Bro, it was, so Mike Vick, LaShawn McCoy, Deshaun Jackson, Jeremy Maclin. And then rookie center was Kelsey.
Kelsey was there.
Who was now, he just retired today, but probably the best center of all time. Defense had tons of dudes, and then D'Amico Ryans is he had a great football career, but he's the head coach for the Texans. So like this, and Chip Kelly's the head coach. So I'm like, dude, so many characters, so many great players. Like it was just such a crazy roster.
It was that's exactly why my behind was cut. Because quarterback wise, we had Mike Vick was the quarterback, Mike Kafka was the backup, He was one of those guys that'll do well in preseason, so he was always gonna be
practice
on.
Guy. Yeah.
Then Trent Edwards, and then they drafted 3rd round Nick Foles, and then I was there as a free agent quarterback. And me and Nick Foles was roommates. We went through rookie camp, OTAs, everything together. So, I didn't really see the writings on the wall that like, hey, yo, there's no way you're making this team based on numbers.
You always think.
Yeah, I just was like, okay, my agent put me in the best situation, even though I had multiple offers and opportunities other places. I was like, hey, I'm listening to my agent. This is the best situation for me. Right. That's what he said. So I went. And so I didn't worry about it's 5 guys. I've never worried about competition. Right. Shoot, I was in the mindset of, I'm finna beat Michael Vick out. That was my mindset.
But then he gonna beat Michael Vick that way.
Thank you, but my mindset.
It has to be the mindset.
It was kind of almost like a dumb mindset, but it's not because you're supposed to feel that way. But I literally went into that thing not thinking anything business-wise, not being realistic. I didn't think any of that stuff. I was just like, hey, let me do what I was supposed to do, and the best man gonna win. And it wasn't like that at all. That's not how it works. Yeah. And I didn't know that. That's not how it works. It could be you doing good, and we see that, and we like, all right, let's scale him back, and let's take away his reps, and let's focus here. Let's do that.
Yeah, that's insane.
It could be that.
It happens.
But yeah, it happens. But, and I'm not saying, no way saying, oh, I was supposed to be starting over Vic or whatever. I'm just saying I had a great camp. I was balling out, taking care of business. I felt that was the best I had felt coming into any football camp. Like, I was prepared because I'm like, oh, I got my shot in the NFL. Man, I remember Sean McCoy used to be like, well, we want Jacory over here throwing with us. Like, all type of stuff like that. And I remember getting the call, and I was like just so confused. I'm like, wait, what? Yeah. But he was telling me, like, Howie Roseman, he was like, look, man, you've been doing, I'm not even gonna lie to you, you've been doing awesome at this camp. But we just don't have enough balls to go around. We got 5 quarterbacks. And 2 of the guys gonna get reps. The rest of y'all gonna be just sitting on the sideline. And he was like, I want to, let you go at this moment so that you can get an opportunity to go to get on somewhere else or something like that. And I respected that. It just, that broke me to the point of where I was like, I'm done. I don't want to play ball no more.
Really?
Yeah. And when that happened, I think I could have went somewhere else. And I had told my agent, I was like, nah, I'm done.
Really?
I
didn't use that as like, bro, I'm better than these guys?
And look, I was so determined that I was.
Yeah.
And I had my mind was so set that, bro, you just balled out, and then it's like, dang.
It's like a disillusionment of what the league is.
And I was like, oh, this is a business. Yeah. Like, and that just like threw me off. So for the rest of the year, man, I was up in the mountains. I was in Idaho.
Really? Like, you just
left? I was in Idaho. I left.
Why Idaho?
One of my boys that was from Miami, he was like, bro, man, come clear your head, man. Come back to my hometown, whatever. We went over there, man. We was off in the mountains.
You just dipped.
In a cabin, chilling, man. I was making my money doing my little trading card deals.
Oh,
getting paid doing that stuff. So that's how I was making my money. But then I'm sitting up there. I'm like, man, this is the most peaceful time I've ever had in my life. Like, this is the first time where I stopped doing anything for the first time. And then it allowed me to like see if I was like, let me give it one more shot. So I could have signed future deals, like future contracts.
That's same cycle?
Yeah, same with teams later on through at the end of the
season.
Going
into camp, yeah.
But then it was like, I said, man, I don't want to go through that again. I don't want to. Okay, yeah, y'all signed me for spring, but then draft at that position, and now y'all cut me again. So I said, I'm gonna just go to Canada, go to the CFL. So I chose to go to CFL.
How long were you in CFL?
8 years, 7 years.
Okay,
yeah.
You enjoyed it?
That was the.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I've heard, I know they have.
It's a lot of guys that say if Canada paid more, they would never go to the NFL.
Really?
Man, half the guys are up there.
Are we going to Canada?
Because we're both looking into it. So.
Hey, half the guys that are up there in Canada are guys that probably failed drug tests and then make it to the NFL, got hurt, with a major injury or something that or were underlooked and then make it to the NFL. Yeah. But
dudes underestimate the talent up there.
Ask Chad Johnson. Chad came up there, and I'm pretty sure his mentality was like, oh, man, I'm coming to the D-League. And then I'm pretty sure he was humbled when he got up there. Chad is a Hall of Fame receiver.
Chad on your team?
He was in Montreal at the time. I was in Hamilton.
Oh, okay.
But Chad ain't start. Chad Johnson ain't start. It's a different ball game up there.
Really?
He got time to get in and get his plays and do all that stuff, but it was a different ball game.
Dudes.
He eventually was starting, but it productivity wise, it was different. Yeah, you still Chad Johnson. Don't ever let nobody tell you different. But he understood, and that's why I respect about him, because it could have been like, oh, talk shit about the league and all that stuff. But nah, he went back and was telling people like the truth. Like, hey man, these guys are pick a play. Oh yeah. Like you got some guys that'll be like, man, that is trash up there because they weren't successful up there.
Yeah.
Like Michael Sam, the guy. Ian and all that stuff. The
gay linebacker.
Yeah. So he came and was horrible.
Like, I forgot. He went up to Canada?
He came up to Canada and
he was bad? He was a dog in college.
He was a dog in college. I don't know what happened. Huh. He wasn't that dog like that. Because it's a different game.
He was on a different team than yours.
He was on Montreal too.
Oh, damn. Montreal's getting everybody.
Montreal used to have all the like...
Because it's a great city.
Because I think Johnny Manziel came from... was at Montreal and then they traded him to Hamilton. Yeah. And all that stuff. Like Montreal took all the like big names and all that stuff.
I think like they probably have the most beautiful women there too, huh? Like all the French Canadians. That's a French area, right?
Yeah. Smooth out there.
Canada, period.
Calm. That's what
Toronto.
Beautiful women, bro.
Toronto.
Crazy.
Montreal, Vancouver.
Yeah. I got a couple boys up there. They said they love it. I mean,
it's the best, man. And it's like you're playing professional, but with like a college atmosphere.
Like the guys are closer?
The guys are closer because guess what? You don't have the guys that are making like 50 million and then the other guys that's making a couple $100,000.
Everyone's kind of within the same.
Everybody within the same range.
Yeah.
Everybody making.
There's no like Russell Wilson where like Marshawn doesn't have his number. Or something like
no, everybody got each other's number. Yeah.
You see that?
Hey, my brother, we roommates. Like, you got guys, quarterbacks that's making almost $1 million and stuff like that.
Oh, that's
the CFL. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It's a lot you don't know.
Yeah.
There you go.
So like I'll say
you gotta pay double taxes.
The average. No, it depends on if you work in if you work in the U.S. So your worldly income has to be 90% in one spot.
Okay.
10% from what I remember, it was 90% in one spot and 10% if it was more than 10% you was making from another place. Now you tax double. So long as your worldly income is 90% in Canada,
you're good.
Then you're good.
He's like you can't have
so
like
the majority of your income is in Canada.
You pay taxes.
You don't have to pay
in
U.S. taxes.
Yeah, you don't have to pay the U.S. taxes.
Oh, okay.
But if you're working here, you got business here.
But if you're doing like other stuff out here, then
they
just make sure that you ain't making. So if you making $900,000 in Canada, make sure you don't make over $100,000 down here in the States.
The US,
yeah.
Okay, interesting.
But because every off season, I worked every off season. Because I was always like, man, I need to start building my resume just in case.
For after football.
Yeah, after football. Yeah. So I worked like.
What'd you do?
Man, I worked at a restoration company for 2 years. Yeah, and I loved it because I ain't never had a job in my life. So.
Did you want to go into something like that?
No. I knew one of the guys. I was like, man, just give me a job here. I just need to do something. I didn't care what it was. Worked at a law firm. I worked with Parks and Recreation, over the landscaping with Miami-Dade County. I would do random stuff like just to do it.
Because you were getting bored?
Because it's like, what I'm going to do? I'm going to be sitting here in the off season just chilling.
Train it, yeah.
And what I did, I knew how much I made up in Canada.
Wasn't enough.
And no, it was.
But he didn't want to exceed that 10%. That's what he said.
Yes. So I would work until I got close to making that, and then I quit. But I told him I'm only here for a small amount of time.
Part-time.
Right.
But yeah, Canada, you make good money in Canada. You make good money. A lot of people don't know that. It's just like with the fire department. Everybody be like, oh, but firefighters don't get paid. Okay. Keep believing that. We don't need that many people applying anyway. Yeah. We don't need people that's applying just because of money anyway.
Right. Yeah.
But
it's good income and, like you said, freedom.
Yeah,
benefits, all that. That's what's up, man. Yeah, it was great to have you on.
Thank you, brother.
It's always great to meet a former Cane and
Cane's legend.
Man. Yeah.
And I want to tell y'all to keep doing what y'all doing, man, because there's just starting a podcast and doing things from the bottom. Anything that you do in life that you're doing from scratch, from the bottom, is always something tough. And you might have your trials and tribulations, but work through whatever it is you guys got to work through. And it look like y'all making it happen. So commend y'all for that. It's a good thing y'all doing. I'm pretty sure, like, looking at y'all, like me looking at some of the podcasts you guys have, you make people feel comfortable just to come in here and just talk regular. Yeah. So continue doing that.
That's what we try. Just be genuine. We're not trying to trip you up. Just
Besides Mario doesn't like us.
Trust me, Mario. I never let nobody trip me up. I think about everything that I say.
Right.
If it don't matter to anything, anymore, I always learn how to do it. So
respect, man. Appreciate you having us on. Yeah.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Until next time.